Good morning, boys and girls. This is the second unit poem, Our Casuarina Tree by TORU DUTT. She was a Bengali poet and she wrote poems in English and French. This poem is taken from the collections titled Ancient Ballad and Legends of Hindustan. Some of our well-known poems are Lotus and then Sita, and of course this poem which we've got it as our text. Before we go into the poem, it's better we get an idea of TORU DUTT. Who was she? What kind of poem she wrote? So she was born in Bengal. She had a brother and a sister. All these three were very close. And these three were taught by excellent English teachers, because it was a period of British rule. And they had excellent teachers, and so their English was good. She wrote poems in English and French also. This poet had a wonderful life with her brother and sister, but unfortunately, when her brother was 14 years old, he passed away. He died because of a disease called tuberculosis, TB, which was a severe disease of lungs. It was very serious in that period because there was no medicine at that time, and she lost her only loving brother. And then her parents took these two girls, Auru Dutt and Toru Dutt, to Europe. They stayed in France, Italy, and they continued their study there, English and French. They stayed there for 3 or 4 years, and then they came back. Here she started writing her poems. But once again, life was not kind to her. Her sister, who was at that time 20 years old, she also had an attack of TB, and she also died. At a very young age of 20, she passed away. So Toru Dutt was now lonely without a loving brother and sister. This feeling is always in all her poems, the loneliness. Her poems contained a theme of longing, a sentimental desire for the past. Her happy days, she always felt a longing na ekam. But also, the other poems also have a theme of patriotism. Even though she went to a foreign country, studied there, mingled with the people, she came back to India. And even when there was lots of differences, she loved the country, the riches, the tradition, the culture. So she was proud to be an Indian, and that also showed in her poems. And this particular poem, The Casuarina Tree, is about a tree which is grown in the southern part of India as well as Australia. I've shown you the picture already. A tall tree. It was in a garden, and this particular tree had a special place in her heart. It was very close to her heart, and she described this poem very clearly so that we can have a picture in our mind. A very clear picture, and why is it close to her heart is the poem.